This local sports report is brought to you by the Waterloo Region Minor Football Association, a proud supporter of local high school football. Play for the Predators in 2020, where next level talent is produced. Our university coaches, premier facilities, and recruitment support help you reach your full potential. For more information, check out their website at waterlooregionfootball.com.
Thank you, Melissa, and the administration here with the Waterloo Predators organization. Obviously, we're very thankful, grateful for our relationship with this group. Not only as possibilities for our current roster players to have coaching opportunities and build their resume and see if that's something they want to do down the road. Also, a great opportunity for young men to aspire to greatness and aspire to go on to university, whether it's the University of Waterloo Laurier or any of the other OUA schools or Canadian U Sports schools. It's a great opportunity because of the coaches, and obviously, we have some player coaches that help out and give up those summer months, but also like the coach Brandon Eckett, that there's a lot of leadership, mentorship, and great role models. And I think here at a celebration of football, obviously we want to celebrate the players because it's all about the players ultimately. But I think I'd be remiss as a football coach myself not to take a second to recognize and have us give another round of applause for all the coaches at every level that sacrifice their time. While I'm on the thank you role here, I think it's important. It's something that I always say, and we have Thanksgiving coming up in a couple weeks, and when we do our Huddle Up program out in the community, I always preach about this to the elementary age school students that we're talking to. We don't have to wait to Thanksgiving to say thank you. And for all you young players, young men out here, you have all this support. I'm looking out here and seeing all this support, and your biggest fans in life will always be your parents, your mom and dad. I know my mom's my biggest fan still, and she's 80 years old, and she's at the game yesterday, and they're always there to support you. And I think we don't have to wait for those special moments to make sure that we say thank you. So I want you guys to always, every once in a while come home from school, come home from a practice. If you're getting a ride home, just say thank you to your parents, because nobody loves you more than them, and they provide you with this opportunity to play football, to be the best you, and play other sports as well. And so let's give your parents a round of applause. Football is why we're here, and football is a special sport. It's a unique sport. It's a lot of everybody's heard the cliche of the ultimate team sport, which it absolutely is. When you have 12 people coming together, whether it's an offensive, defensive, or special teams unit, and everybody has to do their 1/12 and have trust and faith in the player beside them to get their job done. Phil Belichick always says, "Do your job." We preach that too. It's a special sport though, because there's no other sport that encompasses, it's inclusive. There's no other sport that has 6'9", 350-pound players and 5'4" and 140-pound players. It's a great sport for bringing everybody from different ethnicities, socioeconomic backgrounds, coming together. Everybody has a different story, and the challenge of a coach is being able to get all of these different characters to work together as one. And I don't think anything parallels that in sport. And the nice thing about football, I think everybody understands here, is that the lessons that these young men learn, that you guys learn from football, and coming together and being a teammate, these are the lessons that you're going to carry on for life to help you become a successful person in whatever you determine success is for you, okay? And that's the beautiful thing about football that I love, and it keeps me going each and every day, is the fact that we just have 102 guys on our roster that are all different, and we respect individuality. But at the end of the day, when we get out between the white lines, we're there for one job, and that's to be successful and complete a successful football play. And so it's a unique sport in that regard, and I love its inclusivity. One thing, obviously we've been building a football program at the University of Waterloo, and we're 4-1, and we kind of haven't done anything yet. And we got a big kind of run of the gauntlet. The next 3 weeks, we play Western next week, and then in 2 weeks we have the Battle of Waterloo. We hope that you guys are in attendance for that, because that's going to be a heck of a ball game. And then we finish off with McMaster. So we've talked about this being kind of our gauntlet. So we're in a good position at 4-1 going forward, and it's something, the young men that are here, that we're at our first meeting, and Kalen and Jordan and Tyson and Alex, they were at the first meeting. They've kind of heard this spiel a little bit, but we talk about a standard of elite and how you change a culture. And I think you've seen success on the football field from this group's standpoint. The Predators have become a program that it isn't a doormat. It's a program that's respected. It's a program that's competing each and every week, and you see at various levels, various years, competing for championships. And that's because I think that everyone's incorporated that same standard of elite. And when we talk about a standard of elite, basically it's simple. Everybody coming together with one common goal and pulling the rope in the same direction, okay? And that standard of elite and high achievement is communication. Chemistry doesn't happen without communication. So regardless of what level you're in right now, all you young players out here, it's so important to communicate. That's how you create team chemistry, and that's what sets the standard of elite. Because if you're communicating, okay, then everyone's set the standard. What's the accountability line, okay? And you got to understand in life, okay, high achievers, okay, don't necessarily like mediocre people. Mediocre people don't like high achievers, because everyone they have a different perspective on what they want to do. Obviously, we have to get, respect the individuality, but get everybody pulling the rope in the same direction. And it's the standard of elite that we've tried to get our program to and our culture to at the University of Waterloo. And I think it's something that, we want to empower all the coaches at this level, whether it's, Bantam, JV, varsity, the fall teams. It's just getting everybody in line and defining what your standard is. And everybody's standard can be different, but as long as it's clear and it's communicated, then you can achieve that standard. The big thing, the other thing I wanted to talk to some of you guys about, and not some of you guys, I just want to have some of the players here. Some of these guys, this is regurgitated stuff, especially for the Curtis twins. They've heard it for 4 straight years, but it's just about your individuality and how good do you want to be. Okay, as an individual player, how good do you want to be? Not how good do your parents want you to be, or how good do your friends want you to be. How good do you want to be as an individual player in football, but also in every other interest you do in life? How good do you want to be? Because ultimately you're in control of you, you're in control of your choices, and you get to decide how good you want to be. That comes from maximizing your effort, okay? That comes from setting goals, okay? And everybody here is at a different level right now. We got some young guys in grade 10, and grade 11, and grade 12 going in their final year trying to sort out what they're going to do, their next step on their journey. We got young kids that are going into high school. It's never too early to set your goals. You just have to decide what goals you want to set, okay? And you have to set your goals high. You can't set them unattainable, but you have to set them high. And then, to achieve those, you have to figure out what drives you to compete, because everybody's wired differently. So ultimately, it ends up being, how good do you want to be? It's your choice. And you get to choose that with respect to yourself and figure it out the best way for you. Not the best way that somebody else thinks you should do it. You figure out the best way for you to achieve your goals and be elite and be the best you can be. And I know it's a be the best. I mean, you can Google Nick Saban and all these guys that are fantastic football coaches and mentors, and they always say, do your best. And it seems like such a simple comment. But there's a lot of times, and I can be included in this, where I haven't necessarily done my best. Maybe I thought I did my best, but did I really reflect and look in that mirror and truly ask myself if I put my best me forward each and every day? That's an important question to ask if you want to be successful in whatever it is you choose to kind of put your mind to and all your effort to. Okay, guys? That ultimately kind of encompasses what we believe, is the standard of elite that we're trying to achieve at the University of Waterloo. I'm not going to stand up here for very long. My players can tell you I am long-winded, but that's why I'm going to try and keep this short. But in this forum, and I think as the head coach of the University of Waterloo football team, the University of Waterloo is obviously a high-achieving academic institute. And I think for all of you football players here, regardless of your age, something that's very, very important to me, and important I think should be important to everybody, is your academics. Okay, so everybody's in school. We started school 3-4 weeks ago, and I know mom and dad are always telling you to do your best. Do your best. And your best might not mean you get a 97% average, okay? But you need to do your best in school, okay, to give yourself an opportunity. If you ultimately, we're in a football banquet, okay? If you aspire to play in the CFL or NFL, okay, 99% of the athletes that go to those leagues go to university, okay? They go to university. You can also get there by going to the CJFL here in Canada, but it's a difficult task to do that. So my goal is to empower you to do your best at school each and every day. Okay, try hard at the courses you're good at, but try even harder at the courses you're not so good at. Okay, the other thing we need to do is change the stigma of what people perceive, because perception is reality. People perceive football players to be these big Neanderthal, just there's this stigma about it that drives me nuts. Okay, and we challenge our players to change that. Our front and center program, we have our guys sit in the front and center of their classes and change the stigma. Okay, you don't have to be the guy in the back of the class. You don't have to be the goofball always cracking jokes. Okay, you can be the smart one. Okay, you can be a high academic achiever. Okay, and you want to set your standard by being a leader. And that's ultimately what it comes back down to, is being a leader in the classroom, taking care of your business in the classroom, and to know that your parents want you to be, they're just telling you to do well in school, guys, because they care about you. Okay, in today's day and age, it's a challenging world out there. Okay, it's competitive. And in order for you to have an opportunity to be successful, you have to make sure that you're taking care of business in the classroom. And that's what we preach to our guys. There's only a small amount of our football players at the University of Waterloo that are afforded the opportunity to go on and play professional football. Everyone else, once they're done at the University of Waterloo, it's over. They move forward. They go into a master's degree like Shaq. Okay? He's bright, he's smart, he's going to be a successful man. Okay? I know that. And it's because he's always prided himself on academics. And I'm not going to kind of go off on Shaq, but he's definitely a guy that's kind of the standard for what you want to be achieving as a student athlete. And so, we're here for football. We want to watch highlights, hand out awards for great play on the football field. So I don't want to delve into this too much, but I feel like I'm not doing my job if I don't speak on the importance of education. And if you ultimately want to be the best football player, which we're here to speak about tonight, then you have to put the same kind of effort into your work in school. And then you make your role this big, and whether you go to the University of Waterloo, Laurier University, or any other university, or an NCAA school, you actually get to control your choice. You don't have to settle. I can only go here because I can only get in here. You get to make the choice. So I empower you as you go to school tomorrow to make little choices, little changes, and be the best you. With that, guys, I thank you for your attention. I thank Melissa again and the administration here with the Predators for inviting me out to speak. We're super excited for what's happening at the University of Waterloo. We're very grateful for our relationship with the Predators organization and the fact that Predator players are afforded AFA Athletic Financial Awards coming into the University of Waterloo to play football for us. And I hope we can continue this relationship. And I wish every single one of you the best of luck moving forward, whether you're in your fall season, your high school season, obviously the guys that are current Warriors. And like Melissa said, 2 weeks, October 10th, Thursday, October 10th, Warrior Field, 7 p.m. kickoff, the Battle of Waterloo, and I think it's going to be a dandy. Laurie got back on track yesterday, and I think it's going to be a heck of a ball game, and love to see you guys out there. So thanks again, and have an enjoyable evening.
For more highlights, visit our website, 519sportsonline.ca. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.